From the broadcast studio to the boardroom or the bedroom, however you use your voice, I'm going to help you get a better one with Get a Better Broadcast Podcast and Voice Over Voice, this series of short daily podcasts. Hello, I'm Peter Stewart. On Twitter, I'm Tweeter Stewart, TWEETERSTEWART. We're in the voiceover studio at the moment. The studio and also the control room as well could be called a gallery, could be called a production area, where the person is sitting who is going to be giving you a little bit of feedback about your performance and what they want from the script or your presentation style. What are the skills of a voice director then? That's what we're going to be discussing today on Get a Better Broadcast Podcast and Voice Over Voice. So, the director is often a bridge between the actor and the client. They're likely to work with voice artists more often than the scriptwriter or the sharp-suited client, for example, so they can explain what's going on. They know the language to use. They know how to get the best out of you and how to get the written word to be an effective spoken word. They understand that voice work is an art and not a science. Oh, and that sharp-suited client? Well, they may also be sharp-tongued as well, giving brash and unhelpful criticism of your performance. And a director will be a mediator, interpreting and communicating that a little bit more helpfully. A director or producer is also a second pair of ears, giving objectivity and suggestions. Things like, try it this way, or why not alter your pitch a little bit? Or maybe, perhaps if you just slow down a little bit on that second sentence. After all, a script is not necessarily black and white, but 50 shades of grey. And I don't mean like that. There are interpretations, and someone else may help you to see them. They coax and explain to bring out your best performance, giving collaboratory notes rather than feedback, perhaps. They may also be your point of contact in the session, introducing you to others who may be in the production area, the client, the writer, the editor, the runner, and so on. Show you into the studio, adjust your mic stand and your headphone level, ask if you want to stand or sit, provide water, and possibly even give you time and permission to prepare with warm-up exercises like shoulder rolls, neck stretches, and lip trills. They have the creative overview of the whole piece, how your character fits in and interacts with the other ones, the brand voice, and the overall marketing strategy. They know the character you're playing, the purpose of the project, the tone that's needed, the target audience, the visuals your voice is part of, and so on. Now, especially in animation and gaming, where the lines are often recorded separately, the director gives you the context for your part, so there's a better overall listen and experience for the player or the viewer. What you're reacting to, what's happening around you, your part in a conversation or story arc. They may provide lead-in lines for you to bounce off from, and so give a more authentic response. They'll also know about sound, so we'll press buttons and fade up, or faders, to make the very best of your unique voice and sound. Now, although you're being given direction, and of course the people who are paying you have the final decision, what happens in the studio, as I mentioned a moment ago, should really be a collaborative process. So get to know, like, and trust your studio director. They may support you in your interpretation of the script if there's a disagreement in the control room. You may get to meet them in the future on another job. Heck, they may even recommend you for another job. So all sorts of hints and tips and background suggestions and insights there into the role of a voice director. And maybe you may be thinking of being a voiceover director yourself. And some of those tips and tricks and ideas there may also be of use to you if you self-direct, or maybe if you're a producer or a podcast director in a radio studio that isn't actually anything to do with voiceovers per se. Tomorrow, the voiceover studio workflow. What is likely to happen and when is it likely to happen? And how you can be involved. It's all part of the rich tapestry, putting together the jigsaw, I'm mixing my metaphors, so you get an idea of who is doing what and when And knowing that information empowers you. It makes you feel more confident. And if you're more confident, then you're going to be putting in a better performance. Get a Better Broadcast podcast and Voice Over Voice continues tomorrow. From London, I'm Peter Stewart.